Coming up on Bulldog News Now, with limited housing being a constant issue at SC State, we check out how students are liking the newest campus option, Queens Village.
And the United States is at war with Iran. What does this really mean for Americans? How did we get here? BNN breaks it all down for you.
Plus, his body made a stop in Colombia before returning to Chicago for his final memorial service. We reflect on the life of the late Reverend Jesse Jackson, a Greenville native. BNN starts right now.
I'm Shandon Kelly, and you're watching Bulldog News Now.
And I'm Brianna Holmes. We begin with campus news.
A new housing option for student leaders is open at SC State.
BNN's Shamari Blandon checks out the new residence housing.
Ah, good old Queens Village, where every student dreams of living. I know I do. Queens Village Apartments is a new housing project that was dedicated to Royal Court, Campus Activities Board, student orientation leadership, and many other student leadership positions. I asked our Miss Sophomore, Aaliyah Good, and CAB E-Board member, Shandon Kelly, how they feel about their new housing assignment. I asked if they feel safe and if they overall love Queens Village and why. Let's see what they had to say.
Hello, everyone. My name is Aaliyah Good. I am a sophomore broadcast communications major, and I am your reigning Miss Sophomore. I serve as, of course, Miss Sophomore on the Royal Court. I'm just very involved in student life, and my position is technically the secretary for the Royal Court. I live in Queens Village. I really do feel safe over here. I love living over here.
My name is Shandon Kelly. I hold the position of being Publication Promotions Committee co-chair for Campus Activities Board. I do like staying in Queens Village because, one, I only have one roommate. Two, it feels new, staying in a new dorm that's been refurbished, renovated, and now student leaders can live here. Mm-hmm. I generally would just get an apartment off campus because honestly, as much as I want to stay on campus, it's like I didn't really want to choose anywhere else but here.
Well, Bulldog family, you heard it from two students who stay in Queens Village. I have a question for you now. Would you stay in Queens Village? Why or why not? But that's all for today. I'm Shamari Blandon with BNN.
In addition to this housing, the university is set to start construction on a new residence building soon. Also, the 14th floor Truth Hall is currently under a $25 million renovation, which will include the new HVAC and fire suppression systems, along with updated bathrooms and living spaces.
130. That's how old the university known for Garnet and Blue is. South Carolina State University celebrated the big honor with the Founders Day program in Smith, Hammond, and Middleton Center. The theme was honoring the past, investing in the future. Awards were given to various employees and alumni groups. The guest speaker for this occasion was Mr. Terrence Miller Bryan, the great-great-grandson of Thomas E. Miller.
Is it war or is it not? That's the question many Americans are asking since earlier this week when the U.S. and Israel launched strikes against Iran. According to some members of President Trump's administration, the reason for the strike was to protect the U.S. from a possible attack to support a regime change. However, this story is shifting, and some lawmakers on both sides of the aisle want more answers and details. So far, nearly 10 deaths have been attributed to this conflict with no end in sight.
Drone capability every single hour, knocking them out like nobody thought was possible.
What does all this war or not war really mean?
BNN's Carzell Burnell visited SC State's history department to get a breakdown on what's happening. Here is his report.
What's up, y'all? I'm Carzell Burnell, and today we will be interviewing Dr. Michael Landis here at Nance Hall to talk about the events that have happened right here in Iran, and maybe how we can go about it and resolve the issues in the future. So, any further ado, let's get to it.
I'm searching for a lady. Tell me, is that you?
All right, y'all, I'm here with Dr. Landis. So Dr. Landis, first things first, what do you think are the causes of the bombing in Iran?
All right, the history of U.S.-Iranian relations is a long one. The United States, for a very long time in the 1950s and 60s and in the 1970s, supported a brutal dictator in Iran called the Shah of Iran, who did some very terrible things to his people and was very unpopular, but he stayed in power because the United States provided money and weapons and structural support. And in 1979, the Iranian people rose up in a revolution and overthrew the Shah of Iran and replaced him with a religious leader called the Ayatollah. And that really caused a problem for United States-Iranian relations. Iran has also been open in its desire to develop atomic energy, which a lot of industrialized countries have. But the fear from many Americans is that atomic energy, the technology to create atomic energy, would be turned into a nuclear weapon. And so United States policy has been prevent that. And so that brings us up to the present, where President Trump has claimed that Iran is on the brink of an atomic weapon. And that seems to be the justification he is giving for the recent attacks on Iran, although he's given a variety of reasons. The biggest one seems to be the threat of atomic war. So now we find ourselves at war with Iran, ostensibly to prevent Iran from having an atomic weapon. There are other factors in play here, but I think I'll stop there.
That was a great answer. What improvements can we make as a country in terms of our role in worldwide war?
President Trump has, in his first term and in his second term, pulled the United States out of some of these alliances, like the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, which is NATO, and the UN, saying that it's not appropriate for the United States to be in these organizations, that it limits America's ability to do whatever it wants. Democrats have pushed back on that hard. President Biden, who was between the two Trump administrations, really tried to forge alliances and make the United States part of these, stronger part of these organizations. So it's very much a personal political decision about what role the United States should play in the world. I know that sounds like a dodge, but as what we can do, what we can change, or how we can improve here, I'm going to go with a boring response of more transparency. The attacks on Iran took almost everyone by surprise. Members of Congress, members of the press, the American public. And so I think regardless of how you feel about the motives for the war or what we're trying to accomplish with the war, I think overall more transparency is a good thing, that a president should make the case for war before launching into a war, and then let Congress, who actually has the power to declare war, decide or put it to the American people. I also think there's an issue of accountability here. Congress has not voted to declare war. Congress has not voted to appropriate any money for this war. Congress has not voted or acted in any fashion on this war. So the question is, what is the president's constitutional authority to wage this war? And that is, again, something that people will debate. In the Constitution, the president does not have the power to engage in war. However, we have a history of presidents who get the United States involved in combat. That's a question of how much power do you think a president should have? So I guess to answer the question about improvement, I would say Americans need to make a decision about how much power a president has to engage in war, as well as what should the United States position be in terms of the whole world. Are we going to be friends with a lot of people, or are we going to go our own way?
All right, y'all, I just got done interviewing Dr. Landis. It was a great interview. A lot of good things were said. I hope y'all enjoyed that. I'm Carzel Burnell. I'll catch y'all in the next one.
In a 212 to 219 vote, Congress is heavily divided about limiting President Trump's executive power on attacking Iran. According to the U.S. Constitution, Only Congress has the power to declare war.
Students are strengthening their ability to advocate for what's right and make their voices heard. Campus advocate trainer Duncan Kurtwood is equipping students with the tools to confidently speak up and lead change. Campus advocate trainer Duncan Kurtwood came to South Carolina State University to give a prominent presentation to students in how they can create change into the future. The How to Create Change workshop brought a small group of students together for an interactive session focused on building confidence, navigating tough conversations, and transforming passion into meaningful action.
So when young people grow up, they just listen to adults, in the right, for good reason. But now that they're young adults and they actually have to create their own life and advocate for themselves and make choices that will affect their lives, they're not quite used to it. So it's easier to just kind of fall back, to kind of give up that power and just like fall in line with what everybody's doing or what they're told.
I like being Black because I think our culture is unique. We share things in common with each other, whether it be our family, our traditions, just the way we go about.
Participants engaged in discussions and activities designed to help them clearly express their viewpoints while remaining respectful of differing perspectives, though they may not agree with the other person.
Like Courage the Cowardly Dog, we got Danny Phantom.
The workshop also emphasized the importance of turning ideas into action, encouraging students to take initiative both on campus and in their community.
So I tell young people, as soon as you have an issue that you want to fix, grab 5 or 6 people and go through these steps that we taught today, that Martin Luther King has laid out. Go through the steps to get information, inform others, figure out who's with you, who's committed to this cause, and then go meet with the person who has the ability to say yes.
The workshop also emphasized the importance of turning ideas into action, encouraging students to take initiative both on campus and in their communities. The event serves as a reminder that change begins with a single voice and the confidence to use it.
The nation is still mourning the loss of civil rights leader Jesse Jackson. This week, his body laid in state at South Carolina's State House in Columbia. State leaders and national figures paid tribute to Jackson before the occasion was open to the public.
Some speakers, including U.S. Congressman James Clyburn and Jackson's family members, a memorial service was also held at a church in Columbia where civil rights icon Cleveland Sellers spoke about his friendship to Jesse.
Often known as the next king after the death of Martin Luther King Jr., Jesse Jackson was a national civil rights treasure who won't be easily replaced. BNN's Dallas Barnes spoke with the SC State professor who understands the significance of Jackson's life.
This is the funeral procession of the late Reverend Jesse Jackson in Columbia, South Carolina. Jackson passed away after a long battle with illness on February 17th. He was 84 years old. Jackson spent his life working alongside the likes of characters such as Dr. King and Hosea Williams. He was also a mentor to Al Sharpton and Judge Greg Mathis. Jackson was also the first Black man to run a major campaign for President of the United States, paving the way for the presidency of Barack Obama.
The courage of our forefathers and mothers as an assurance that their prayers are being answered, that their work has not been in vain, and the hope is eternal. Tomorrow night, my name will go in nomination for the presidency of the United States of America.
I had the opportunity to speak with Dr. George Johnson, the chair of the Education Department at SC State. He's what many call a historian and an expert on Black history. We discussed Reverend Jackson's life and lasting impact, but also what it means today in the present and where this country is heading.
Civil rights, voting rights, DEI, gerrymandering, all the things that we've done leading up to Jesse Jackson wanting to run in 1988, and now with Obama becoming president, all that's being reversed. Would we have not had Obama had Jackson won? I would think so.
Reverend Jackson was also present that fateful day in Memphis where Dr. King was struck dead with a bullet. Dr. Johnson gave his thoughts on the infamous blood on the shirt story.
I don't think he had anything to do with that. I mean, because our government has been a government that when you are advancing the cause too much, then you become indispensable. You have to go.
The final service for Reverend Jackson is a private one set for Saturday in the Rainbow Push headquarters in Chicago starting at 10 a.m. When students come back from spring break, the countdown is on for Bulldog Fest. This is much like a homecoming part 2 for students. BNN's Kamora Aiken talked with the CAB president to find out more details.
What's up, everyone? I'm Kamora Aiken, and this is your Bulldog News Now. With springtime rolling in, that means Bulldog Fest is right around the corner. I had the honor of sitting down with the CAB president, Anthony Miles, to ask him some questions and some of the things that we should be excited about for the upcoming events. Who am I here with today?
Anthony Miles, Campus Activity Board President.
Okay, and in the light of the springtime and everything that's going on here on campus, and as we return back from spring break, what are some activities that Bulldog Fest may entail?
You talking actual events?
Mm-hmm.
I would definitely say we're trying to get a spring concert.
Mm-hmm.
As far as coming back from a homecoming concert that we couldn't have for the students. Also say a little fun obstacle course. I'm trying to get maybe a Bulldog Ninja Warrior event coming out here. I would say, might have a guest throughout the week. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
Might do a cooking class.
Ooh, okay.
Definitely got to revisit Duke, so I know you guys wanted it homecoming week.
Mm-hmm.
Bring it back now.
Okay, great. And what could you say to students that have never experienced Bulldog Fest? What would you say that the vibes are at the event?
I would say the vibes is really the same as homecoming, but it's really for us as students. And I would say it's definitely a farewell experience to the seniors, and going out is definitely going to be bigger this year than ever, I would say, especially since we can have, or possibility of us having, a spring concert.
Okay, great. And is there any artist that you would personally like to see during the concert?
I want Gucci Mane back.
Okay. Okay, period. Thank you.
Bulldog Fest is set for April 10th through the 18th.
After facing harsh criticism from both Republican and Democrat leaders, President Donald Trump has made change with his administration. He has replaced Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem with Oklahoma Republican Senator Mark Wayne Mullen. Noem received plenty of backlash after Americans were killed in relations to ICE raids and immigration crackdowns in Minnesota. The pushback continued as late as this week. During a congressional hearing, Noem was told repeatedly that she was over her head and didn't know what she was doing as Secretary of Homeland Security.
So why am I disappointed with Secretary Noem? Because we're not going after enough people who did this damage at the expense of running numbers that Stephen Miller wants out of the White House. We just want numbers. We want 1,000 a day, 6,000 a day, 9,000 a day, because numbers matter, right? No, they don't matter. Quality matters, not quantity, quality. And what we've seen is a disaster.
Next, Mullen would have to go through the Security and Governmental Affairs Committee to be confirmed the new role in Trump's administration.
I'm Dallas Barnes, and this is your Underground Report. If you were thinking about copyrighting an AI-generated image or video, it's a no-go. This comes after the U.S. Supreme Court refused to hear a case involving a person who created AI artwork and wanted to copyright it. A long-held standing from the U.S. Copyright Office says AI-generated content is not eligible for copyright because it wasn't originally created by a human. It seems that comedian Dion Cole can't catch a break. Fresh off hosting the 57th NAACP Image Awards, Cole has received a lot of hate mail dealing with his monologue about Nicki Minaj being a Trump supporter. During his opening act, he suggested Nicki's butt injections going wrong is the reason she is a follower of the current president. Cole posted some of the messages he got from those who didn't like his jokes. One of the commenters said, "Keep Nicki out your mouth before I spit on you." Another comment went in deep, talking about his now deceased mother. So far, Nicki Minaj hasn't responded publicly about the jokes from Cole or about the nasty clapbacks from her supporters. Is it true, or is he just desperate for more attention? We all have been going back and forth lately on whether artist and reality star Ray J is really that sick. This comes after he made a video saying he only had a few months left to live. But get this, he performed just a few days later with blood seeming to run from his eyes. Critics are saying he just wants to stay relevant since his entertainment career is currently in the toilet. Well, Ray J's mother, Sonia Bates Norwood, stepped into the chats to clear the air with a live post, basically co-signing on what Ray J had said previously. She said that her son's health issues are very real, and it is, quote, life-threatening. Norwood went on to thank those who have prayed for her and her son, and asked for more prayers that his condition might change. Get well soon, Ray J. I'm Dallas Barnes, and that's your Underground Report. We'll see you here next time.
Welcome back, Bulldogs. I'm Dominic Reeves, and I'm here with your weekly weather report. It seems like the Garden City is finally starting to warm up again. Starting with Friday, there will be a high of 82 and a low of 61. Saturday gets a little warmer at 82 with a low of 63, and Sunday comes in with a high of 81 and a low of 62. The start of the week, Monday, is also 81 and 62. Tuesday the 10th is the hottest of the week at an 86 and a low of 64, and Wednesday is also a high of 86 and a low of 65. And to close out this weather report, Thursday is the coldest day, with 69 being the high and 45 as the low. Have a good spring break, Bulldogs. I'm Dominic Reeves, and we'll see you next time.
Here's what's trending. What restaurant has a menu that's nearly 21 pages long and is known for its cheesecake? If you guessed the Cheesecake Factory, you are right. The chain restaurant is expanding its menu again.
It's adding about 18 new items to its already long list of options. Some of those items include veggie burger with brown rice, mushrooms, and black beans, an Asian tenderloin with steak, snow peas and broccoli, pickle fries with a spicy ranch dip, and a barbecue pork belly with coleslaw and crispy onions.
New drinks are coming in too, like Southern Peach Lemonade and Spanish Old Fashioned. All of these items are available now. So Shannon, do you have a favorite cheesecake meal or dessert?
Well, Bree, I don't really eat cake. I don't eat cake. I don't even eat cheesecake at all. But I do love Oreo ice cream.
I'm more of a strawberry shortcake type of girly. I don't really mess with cheesecake like that, so, If you haven't done so, be sure to follow all of our social media platforms at BNNSCSTATE to catch weekly videos, behind the scenes, and so much more.
And don't be afraid to like and share our content as well.
I'm Brianna Holmes.
And I'm Shanton Kelly.
And this is BNN News. Have a good day.